Alright, I have to start again. So, for the benefit, this is the last class, so I'm pretty sure you are like this. And all the best for your assignments and exams. Guys, okay? And one last time, before we start, please turn off your phone. Thank you very much. And this class, I'm thinking of slightly wrapping up with the policies and the economics and a bit of how the economic policies will be affecting how we can look in the future and beyond, current and future and beyond, and what awareness has to be in place and to be more competitive. So that's what I was thinking that to wrap up session, because we have covered quite a few of renewable energies, including solar, wind, wave, biomass. So we've covered almost everything. So I thought, okay, I'll give you a quick overview of the awareness and policies that needs to be there. That is my version. Okay, so you can also have your own version. What did I do last time? Did I close it, right? I hope it survives. Okay, that's fine. So this is a cartoon picture. It says that the three Venn diagrams here are energy security, that's quite important, of secure supply and reliability, economic productivity, that depends on the growth in demand, and price volatility, right? And uncertainty and risk is there in everything. So I wouldn't pay much attention to that. Environmental impact, okay, that is a key issue, right? So all the way we have been working on several factors, but all these factors boil down to environmental impact, land and water use and emissions, right? Do you agree? So now we are almost come to close to the end of the lecture, right? So I would like you guys to answer the purple one and the what color? The brown one. If you can tell me what it is, what does it mean? Economic productivity, growth in demand and price volatility, environmental impact, land and water use and emissions. Give me 3 key points in those 2 diagrams. Which you think? Okay, I'll go again. Economic productivity, that is growth in demand, price volatility, environmental impact, land and water use, and emissions. Emissions, what I'm talking about here, emissions. Greenhouse gases, right? Okay. And can you go a bit more? Okay. I'm not sure whether you picked one, the last one which I said. I do agree, greenhouse gases, that makes a huge impact. If you can compare with what is happening last class, if you listen to the lecture notes, sorry guys, keep the current color scheme and do not change. I hope it works. Okay. The last class I was mentioning about the New York Times journal, right? Do you remember? About China. Did I say it? No. Were you there last class? I thought you were there. Yeah. Okay. Probably it was very damp, right? I thought you were sleeping there. Okay. Okay. China, one of the cities in China, I think the airport was closed for close to about a week or so because of the air pollution. Right? So that's again boiled down to the strict carbon capture, the policies. So the greenhouse gas emissions. So that plays a really crucial role. That is China, okay, it's not far. If it is there in China, it can come in Europe and other parts of the world at some stage if you are not saving it properly. Right? So the environmental impact is there on emissions. Anything on land and water use? That's one point, right? So
affect the water flow, the natural water flows through land, the water runoffs, the water tables, and all that need to be concerns.
Affects the crop growth and stuff for biofuels and so forth?
Yeah, that's a valid point again. Okay, so the land and water use is like, if you are going more towards bio as well, you started encroaching the natural resources. So you need to be more set a balance. Okay, and the land is again becoming more crucial. That's one of the points. There are other two crucial points out there. Okay, land and water use. Okay, so it's not a high risk market, but you need to know all these things because you're all engineers anyway, right? So in case of the chip manufacturing, IC chip manufacturing, and anything relevant to the components, right? So people traditionally uses, like they started etching the tools, right? You always etch it with a hydrofluoric acid or something like that to create the patterns, like what you're seeing in the chip. So after that, they put a lot of water for washing. Okay, that's one of the steps. So now everything is going electronics, right? So this is really critical. The amount of water usage, okay, in respect to what the electronic industry is using is really huge, massive. Okay, that's a very small amount. But if you come into the renewable energy, how effectively we are going to use the water for hydro or ocean energy, okay, that's another challenge. Okay, so any other things which you can think of? Land, windmills, right? Environmental impact it will have. So where you are going to place your windmills, how we are going to generate the current, the storage. That's one. And in the top, economic productivity, growth in demand and price volatility. What does it mean?
With renewables, you wouldn't really have volatility in price because you're getting a constant source of using most fuels.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's provided that you're producing it and consuming it domestically. You still overcome doing things for the piece of your importing.
Okay.
energy.
What are all the things? Growth in demand and price volatility. These are how you can link those two to the government policies. Because if the government says, bloody hell, you have to use renewable energy, there is a demand there, and the annual oil rate is creeping up, and then we are again going to have an oil peak pretty soon. We never know when it is, but it is going to happen, and already the one decision has kind of affected significantly. If the government says, and the private sector says, no, we need to go for renewable energy, and the demand is there, and the price volatility has to be controlled. So it has the economic productivity is pretty much in the wings of the government, right? Do you agree?
yeah.
The government says, if I say, I will do, then the students will do. Similarly, the government says, if these guys, it is coming from the top, guys, we have to do, this is the policy, then definitely people will be awakened. There are some serious measures, right? Are you agree? Then the price volatility and subsidizable, everything will come down. Is it okay? So that's why I said we need a balance. We need a balance. How we can set the balance is very crucial, right? So again, coming back to the last one, environmental impact, the pollution. So pollution is really key. That will affect everything, right? See, if you see, as I mentioned in my first lecture, that there are three key problems entire world is harping on is energy, water, and healthcare. And all these three are related. And all these three are all boiled down to the environmental impact as well. So the more pollution, more arsenic impurities. Have we ever come across in the last 10 years, or probably 15 years, people are talking about arsenic impurities in water? Not much vibrations. But these days, people start about arsenic, lead batteries, disposal. Why? Because the more usage, more consumption, more technology. So we have to set a balance. We need a balance. We need to strike a balance. How we are going to do that? How we are going to engineer that? So that's what I want to convey. Anyone has any special comments? I mean, not special comments, any comments. That's better. Everything is special, guys. Before I move next. Okay, happy days. Good. So one last time, I go to this slide. Okay. So the world renewable energy supply and the role of renewables. Okay, this is entire world. Okay, this is about 2008 outlook, so it's pretty old data. Okay, but the predictions are pretty much similar. Okay, so just to take the renewables, it's 13% in 2006, and the predicted is 14%. It's not much, right? It's 1% of increase in about 2006. This is completely about the world, entire world, not only Europe. Okay, the average. It's 2006 and 2030. It's only 1% jump. That's quite small. That's quite small. Why? You are now you are not finishing this course. Why? Why it's very small? Sorry?
The initial outlay money for the
Capital.
capital investment.
Capital investments. Any other?
The technology isn't quite there to get much.
Those two are linked, right? Technology. How technology will come to your picture?
The type of technology to harness renewable energies as effectively as possible is just too expensive right now.
Yeah, it's too expensive. So okay. It's a valid point. Okay, and that's also a valid point, capital cost. And because if you see the growth, you would be surprised. I forgot to put one more slide. Actually, I should have done that. So there are, that US is a big player in almost everything, right? But they are not a big player in renewable energy. But they want to be a big player. So according to their recent, the NREL is the National Renewable Energy, right? That's the one in US. The director's message was between 2006 and 2030, US itself is going to invest $150 billion on renewable energy. Because it's a very key issue they are not making. But if you see, they are not in the top league table at all. Who are in the top league table in renewable energy? We have been doing this for a long time. Huh? Sorry? No, China is not in the top. Germany, they are the thinkers. Germany is in the top table, and the solar photovoltaic, two prominent European countries are in the top. Denmark and Germany. Okay, Spain as well. Yeah, Denmark, Germany, and Spain. But US is not far. They are started making investments. The problem is awareness. Not many people to push the technology further, because people want to do work on the electronics and semiconductor industry to push the technology, healthcare. But energy is an unsung hero. It has to be pushed. If you see oil prices going up and up and up, once oil prices goes up, everything goes up. Right? All the products, the cosmetics which you use are oils, right? Plastics, everything oil. So we need to be smart enough to do this. And this investment, I'm talking about the radar, the prediction, which IEA validates only on the current investments. Okay, if the future investments goes high, then the current scenario will change. And it will change because there are lots of other people started thinking on clean tech. And the European Union is heavily pushing this as well. European Union, Asia, and also US as well. See, as you mentioned, you said China, right? China was not in the radar until 2 years back. For the past 2 years, the more vibrations has been created politically. But still, see, as you said, China is in the top lead, but the problem is pollution, which I said carbon capture, right? For the past 1 week, they can't even open their airport in one of the cities. It's a huge challenge that is going to be there if we are not waking up. Right. So achieving sustainable energy challenges. This is challenges. Okay. So this could be going into the policies and economics as well. So coordinated national strategy around energy, research and development and education needs to be. It's a national challenge, right? So people have seen Sustainable Energy Ireland. If you are doing your assignments, right? You are doing your assignments. Sustainable Energy Ireland, IEA. There are many hits you can get. So it's all related to coordinated national strategy should be there around energy. Research, development, and education has to be done at the undergraduate levels and also at the primary school levels, at the living cert levels. Then only we can do. There's a traditional huge boost in R&D investment has to be there. Huge boost in the economics. Huge boost of R&D investments. Policy and market frameworks are essential to boost the economics. Policy and market. So you create the market, you create the framework for the market and the investment. So people are talking about e-cars, green cars, electric vehicles, right? So all these has to be inculcated by the boost in the R&D investments. The people are, even the ESB CEO is talking about putting charging stations everywhere for the e-cars. But why you have to put the charging station when you do not have proper infrastructure and facilities to create the R&D to boost the environment? Then we'll be always like depending on others for the service providers, right? So we need to create boost in R&D investment has to happen. Policy and market frameworks are essential to boost. Develop intellectual manpower. That is what we are trying to do, right? Now here in this class for the past 12 classes, and this has to be upscaled. Develop intellectual power. When you start developing intellectual power, that answers both of your questions. Where is the manpower to do this? You asked about the technological challenges. It's expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. Why it is expensive? Because only small section of people are working on this. You need. I'm really happy to take on this class because this class has software engineers, this class has mechanical engineers, this has communication engineers and some physicists. That's how it should be. If you want to engineering a product, you need to have everyone into picture. Everyone has to work on the one focus. So we need to develop the intellectual manpower. That's what it is. And lead globally. That's what we need to do. The Ireland has to do. We need to be a leader, not a follower. We have plenty of resources. Identify the resources and place actions. So lead globally. That's a very important thing. And promote public action and awareness is really essential in everything. I don't like to put a wind farm in the back of my thing. Guys, you're not caring for you, not only for you, your future development. How many of you will be thinking that there will be water tax? If you ask your parents or whoever it is, your parents or grandparents, they wouldn't even thought in their mind that they will be paying a water tax in the next 5 to 10 years or 20 years. Yeah, whatever it is, right? Okay, they wouldn't even thought that there will be a bicycle to work scheme will be there and the cycle points will be there in the corner. They wouldn't have thought. Why they put cycle points? Because they want to reduce the emissions. Okay, and if you see US policy says that if you are traveling in the peak time, if 2 people or 3 people in the car traveling, they will give reducing the tax because they want to reduce the emissions. So there is a huge challenge there, and that is where promote public awareness. That's key, right? We have to be more. Not only that, we need to promote more, understand more on how to conserve the energy. And how to conserve not only the energy, the water, and other disposals, renewables as well, right? Grand challenges. So, do you want to cover any other things in this? Sorry. Do you want to see any other things or any comments?
Any new technology is always there.
Yeah, it all starts with expensive. The first transistor was the size of this room. The size of this room, first transistor, very first transistor.
Take a flat screen television for instance, and you can push. You pay 10,000-20,000 euros to buy
Yeah.
100,000. That's in a short space of time.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's a need. IBM was concentrating on, Intel was concentrating on. Right? As you said, the challenge has to come from top down, not from bottom up. The government says, guys, I need this. I want to invest. I want to see that this is a global. Germany was working on fuel cells, right? The Daimler-Benz cars, which you see, the Daimler cars. They were working on fuel cells for the past 30 years, 40 years. Renewable energy cars, okay, the green cars. But nobody in the world, the world was just laughing at them. Wow, why the hell? iron, or I'm happy with the petrol, I'm happy with the electric things. No, they won't be working, and they will be leading the thing. How Ireland can lead globally? That's what you need to compare in your assignments. How we can lead globally, in what resources? So those are all the things, and those two are the key points. How to promote the public action and awareness. That will be the key. You have to take the entire world, the entire country with you. You cannot just go by single-handed. Grand challenges. Okay, it's a $200 billion market globally, and heavily driven by policies. As I mentioned to you, it's a top-down approach, heavily driven by policies. You guys tell, I want this to be done. If the president of Ireland says, I want this to be done, it has to be done. If I would say, I want this to be done, it will not be done. It has come from the top. That's how it is. So it's $200 billion market and heavily driven by policies. How can we get maximum impact? How can we get maximum impact? Tell me. Speed of action, right? Speed of action in attacking the barriers. What are all the barriers? Identify the barriers. Identify the barriers in energies. Well, you have gone all the energies, right? Geo, biomass, wind, solar. I didn't take solar thermal. Probably I would have taken it if I had more time. So solar thermal, solar. So it's all there. You identify the barrier, identify the cost, identify the reliability, infrastructure, create more infrastructure. So these are all the key issues. The speed of actions is very key issues. Then other key issues is this thing. So you do all these things, right? Up to the infrastructure. Up to infrastructure, you do everything correctly, right? But it's heavily driven by policies. So you do this. This bit has to be really clear for the awareness. Reducing the energy demand on buildings, industries, and vehicles. So the government has to be proactive in energy efficient buildings. All the government buildings are something I should say that I am going to go for energy demand, energy efficient buildings. And I am going to target all the industries to say that if you do this, there will be huge tax benefits. Energy efficiency, show energy efficiency, cut down the expenditure of the energy. Similarly, the vehicles. So it should be driven by the policies. Then the awareness is created, and more scientists and engineers like you will start taking up the course, taking up into the radar. Right? Any other comments? Right? Looking ahead. Sensible and realistic budget. I'm not sure at this point of time, even though we have a huge recession and we are pretty much governed by IMF, not by the guys. Anyway, no, I'm not scared of telling this. So, but still, a sensible and realistic budget for next 20 years on renewable energy will answer a lot of problems. Will answer a lot of questions. Okay? A sensible energy, creation of green energy jobs. Creation of green energy jobs. That's why you are studying this course. Why?
Why?
Sorry?
Why was studying the stars?
Why you are studying this module? Why you have taken the module? You want job? You want to work? Right? Is it correct? Yeah, you want to work. And how you want to work? You want to work in the area where the future is going to be, not the current world. Yeah, people are talking about Y2K problem and mainframes for the year 2000. So whoever pumped in the money on the mainframes, they have lost the jobs because things have changed, right?
Look, you made a policy there.
Say again?
You made a policy. You made everybody had to be seen to do something for Y2K. Make sure that even if they live with the building, had to be seen to be Y2K. So this was a policy that was pushed.
Pushed. And after that it has changed.
Yeah.
Exactly, that is where I came always. It's a policy driven. Okay, the renewable energy will be policy driven and it will be forced to be a policy driven in future. And there will be a lot of jobs will be there. And the creation of green jobs in Ireland is essential. And it belongs to this one. How can we get maximum impact? That has to be addressed. With respect to wind, rainwater, I think Declan initially started a good project, but I don't know why he changed to solar. But that was a really good project. He was talking about water harvestation. Say again?
You probably couldn't find anything.
That's fine. I would be happy if he had given a really good points, even 10-page assignment on that area. If he can cover it, I would have taken it. Anyway, that's fine. So creation of green energy jobs in Ireland, fourfold production of alternate energy, fourfold. It has to be there. Increase the efficiency of government buildings and encourage private sector investments in saving energy, transforming the economy with science and technology. We need to transform the economy with science and technology and engineering. We can't just depend on finance and buildings, right? If building is there, okay, fine, I'm going to invest the money on buildings, okay, good. But who is going to come? Are you going to attract industries? Why you have to attract industries? Guys, you come here, okay, I'll give you tax benefit, that's fine. But my energy bill is high, my infrastructure is low, so what else I can do? So you attract them saying that, okay, but I'm giving you a good policy, you pay this much of energy bills, you travel by this type of vehicles, I'll give you further reductions. So go, transform the economy. And then we are working more on the scientific improvement. We have provided much intellectual properties. So we will reduce the efficiency we will increase the efficiency. So you started thinking, change the global transformation has to go by changing the science and technology. That's where it is. So everything changes when science and technology governs, right? Yeah. You are how many of us we have started using smartphones for everything. Even my lectures can be taken in the smartphones, right? So it's because the technological challenge. A few years back, we have a huge brick Motorola. That is a cell phone everyone was using. Because technology says, I put this, you make it cheaper. Because science and technology and investment went into that. So everything globally is science and technology driven. So we have to change the economy by like that. Strategy, finally, so Sustainable Energy Ireland must take a lead role. A coordinated task team should be employed. Green team. Focus should be on high impact renewable energy sources. What does it mean? High impact. Focus should be on high impact renewable energy sources. What is the high impact renewable energy source in Ireland? Wind. And then? Biomass. And? Sorry? Wave? Okay. Nobody is touching my heart. Oh man.
Photovoltaic.
There you go. Solar. I gave you several examples. Germany and Ireland receive the exact amount of sunlight, right? 1,450 hours. You have to try. Sun is a huge source of energy. That is the source of energy for biomass. That is the source of energy for wave. That is the source of energy for wind. But we can still use photovoltaic. I agree with you, wind. It's a huge, massive wind. No ocean, wave, tidal energy, and biomass. So all the four. On this four, which is the main thing which we have to focus and impact, provide that, and it has to be driven by the team, should work with the policymakers. So those kind of things has to be there strategically. And clean tech current and future. So this is one of the slides. The cost of renewable energy will go down, and it's already going down. As you can see, you guys are doing a lot of projects, so you should be knowing it. And industry impact and shares, yes, it will be there once you started pumping more investments. Government policies must change. It's high time we need to wake up. Right? Needs for balanced portfolio. So you guys agree, right? It should be industry driven and technology driven. Right? So I've given enough explanation on this. So it should be systems perspective and revolutionary. It should be revolutionary 10 years and beyond. I mean, that's what. I really admire Germany. They think for 20 years or 30 years in advance. So we need to think more revolutionary concepts, 10 years and 20 years, 30 years beyond. For that, we need to have an industry-driven and technology-driven, and it should be an accelerated evolutionary things in spans of 3 years down the line, how we are looking up 15 years. So it's all boiled down to, again, strategies and policies. So the academic institutions and the industries has to work together. That's why I put basic research-driven. How many of the Irish higher educations are working on renewable energies? You yourself can answer this. How many courses are there in renewable energy in Ireland?
One or two.
What, in Ireland, entire Ireland, 7 universities are there, right? In 7 universities, how many can you pick an undergraduate degree in renewable energy? Whereas China has, Germany has, India has, and UK has some now, MSc in renewable energy technologies, right? So how many? It's not there in Ireland, right? I don't see an BE or a master's in renewable energies. Have you seen anything? You have seen, is it? Which one is this? DIT or?
No, this one is Dublin.
That's not a university. I'm talking about universities. Some universities in Ireland.
The universities now, but saying that the Institute of Technology.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I haven't considered an IT. Probably it may have. But
This is a greater.
that's what I say. If top-down things comes, first to the policies, next to the universities, right? Then after that, ITs are coming. So I'm talking about the policies. Then if, say for example, the universities are concentrating on this, that will be basic research driven. After that, technology will be driven. Because universities has to do this research, but they have to find the partners, the companies, the industrial partners. So they will talk about the technology. This is what I will sell the technologies. Then it is technology driven. Once it's technology started driven, then whole industry can go. So that cycle has to be there, and we have to be map those things. So basic research has started recently, but it has to be accelerated. Okay? Approach. I think I'm coming to last few slides. Okay? So never ignore the available resources. That's what I want to say. Never ignore. Never ignore the available resources. So, guys, we hit the nail. Wind turbines, biofuels, solar systems. Wind turbines improve the energy capture and decrease the cost. Biofuels, new feedstocks, integrated biorefineries. That's essential. Solar systems, improve performance, reduce manufacturing costs. I'm a nanoman, okay? Nanostructures. Nanostructures and new materials. Always go for innovation. Innovation is really, really important. That will spring all surprises and challenges. Nanostructures and new materials and more efficient buildings. So if you cover all these things, this is, I thought, relevant to iron, wind, biomass and solar, and energy efficiency. Does anyone has any other thing to convey? No?
Right?
Okay. I think this guy is getting bored. I have to talk about French now. What do you think about the France? What they need?
Less nuclear.
Huh?
Less nuclear power.
Less nuclear power. Ah, look at that. Against nuclear. Okay. So were you there standing in front of the railways saying no nuclear?
No, but the problem is that France is investing a lot in environment.
The leaders of the nuclear energy.
Yeah,
Not in Germany.
they are one of the leaders, but
Well, France, you know, an awful lot of your energy is export, isn't it? That's great
yes.
in nuclear energy.
Yeah, but the problem is, I don't know, we are a lot of people as we were on stuff we call Minitel, which was sort of old internet and which completely is not used now. So I'm afraid it's going to be the same for nuclear.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We are the leader, we are the only ones who use it.
We seem to spend, we're going to put more investment into how to sort out nuclear waste rather than produce. Like it is an efficient way of producing electricity. It's just it's the end product or the disposal product at the end is the problem.
I think if I say that, my opinion, he will kill me immediately. That's a problem. That's why I'm hiding from him. I will go from nuclear. I'll really go from nuclear. I'm an owner of nuclear. Yeah, it has to be there.
It's the byproduct.
But-
They need to look more into the.
Yeah, but you need to be smart enough to recycle that.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to be smart enough. People have to be thinking about that rather than protesting it. Guys, it's 1 euro petrol was costing 2 years back or 1 year back. Not far. €1, right? Petrol.
That's 8 years back.
Yeah. about a year back, not even 2 years, about a year back, 1 year, 99 cents, 98 cents, something like that. Now how much it is? 189, right? 189, 170, something like that. 154. It varies from petrol to petrol. So, sorry? 148. If you go in Tesco, yeah, it's 148. If you go and some other place, yeah, ripped off, exactly. Or if you cross the border, close to Newry, that'll be much less.
I think oil is about 54 cents a litre.
Yeah. So the demand, supply demand, has to go there. Okay. So this thing has to rise. It will be rising in about 5 years. In about 5 years, we'll be talking about 3 euros. Don't be surprised. Okay, it will be there. So if you're still harping on this technologies, the cutting edge technologies of renewable energies, it's not going to help immediately, but nuclear will help.
What they do is you spend €3 on a lever catching or out the car and set it. And they don't pay anymore.
Yeah. So that's only one you will think about it. Not many people will think about like that. Okay, if I want to go to this class at 10 o'clock, I won't park there and take a bicycle from there. Yeah, it really kills my energy, right? So there should be some other challenges. Any other comments on international level? Okay, I understand the French. My French friend is against nuclear, waging a war against nuclear. Okay.
It's not war against nuclear, it's not the only solution.
No, it's not the only solution. That is
The
it.
problem is it's presented as the only solution. That's why we are investing less in renewable energy, as German, for instance.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. In fact, the renewable energy concept was started by French. You know that we started that same in that. Yeah, hydro. Hydro was started by French. And it was taken over by others. Right? And similarly, wind energy. Yes. So don't worry, you're not far with the lead. You are in the lead, you are in the dot. Okay, don't worry.
More efficient buildings, like, we should definitely look at more into that. Like between lighting. The only thing there is missing is like 60 to 70% of our electrical energy that we use is consumed by electric motors.
See, the more efficient buildings does not mean only the motors and the electricity, okay? So I'm talking about efficient buildings, efficiency in the constructions itself. Yeah. See, novel materials, I said that nanostructured new materials, right? It's innovations. So if you use the nanomaterials, what's happening is these nanomaterials at this nano level, at the very small atomic level, they absorb the light, heat more. Okay, so you start tending to store heat inculcating into the cements that you construct. Put this in the cements, retain the heat, because countries like this, it needs heat, right? Because it's cold. So you start smart way of storing energy. So those are all the things, that's one such idea. So efficient buildings, that's another key. Okay, another 2 more slides to go. So how do we build efficient buildings? Carbon capture, that's a key thing. How do we build? Carbon capture, medium cost forestation, confirm co-firing biomass, wind, it has everything, livestock, nuclear, industrial waste, sugarcane. So all these things, insulation. So component by component analysis has to be done, and the insulation understates the value of whole building systems approach. So we need to think beyond, much beyond how well we can do this. So this slide has plenty of information, and this has took from another McKinsey. There's a guy called McKinsey Global Institute. So if you want, you can Google it and start reading this. This is a really good reports out there. Okay, the key challenges and status of electric vehicle. So photovoltaic high electric vehicle, only conversion vehicles available. OEM is building prototypes and test beds, and NREL is working on these kind of strategies: energy storage, advanced power electronics, vehicle ancillary, road directions, vehicle thermal management. So there are quite a few things we can do on energy management itself. And then the key, we all know the key challenges: energy storage, cost, utility impacts, vehicle costs, again, recharging locations, emissions and cold starts, heating, and about put in the garbage, 33%. So recycling is another key. So energy needs approach, finally, It has to be multidisciplinary, as I keep on mentioning. Multidisciplinary, multi-institutional collaborations has to happen. Chemistry, material science, computational modeling, biology, engineering, everything should be there. Translation of science, bridge basics to applied. That is already undergoing. And revolutionary opportunities at nanoscale should not be ignored. That should be the approach. Emerging, so there are lots of emerging countries, as we say about emerging countries, BRIC countries, that's what I was trying to follow. China, they are heavily concentrating on biofuels, buildings, wind, PV, and their rural electrifications, eco-cities, and climate analysis. So they are touching almost all the important points in the radar with their heavy investments. India is currently working on biofuels, that they have lots of rich resources. Solar, we know that, and they are also working on buildings and sustainable communities. The sustainable communities is the one that goes into the rural areas. How they can maximize the potential, even microfinancing the biomass and energy capture. That is also one of the areas which they are looking at. How we can encourage the farmers not to go for deforestation and not to transfer into industrialization. So those are all the things. And Brazil, you know that they are a big players in biofuels. I think the last class we did that, and they have a really good policies and commercialization approach. And South Asia has goes on resource assessment. So there are lots of things started coming out in the BRIC countries, and all these boil down to integrated approach. So you have a technology, you mobilize the capital, you have a policies, and you driven the market. Okay, that's the Venn diagram which I started. I finished with this. Okay, finally, it is our generation has the ability to change the way we live and how we impact the environment. And science is one key part to way forward. Thanks for the great semester, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Save the earth. Finally, save the earth, preserve the environment. It's in your hands. Thank you so much, guys. Any questions or comments before I stop the class? If you have any questions on the assignments, exams, or anything, I'm happy to take. What's coming up? Break. Break is coming up soon.
Whenever we get any results for the assignments, when we get it before the exam,
That's why I won't give it before the exam.
sorry?
I won't give before the exam.
You won't give it.
No. That would be disaster. That would be disaster if I give before exams. Okay?
Will we find out what we got individually for the exam and for the project?
Yeah, I will give both together most likely. I'll see. I have to see I have to speak to the coordinators and see what is the approach is. Okay? So it's a good question. Keep watching Moodle. I'll update it on that. Okay? And then I'll send you an email with update. Any other?
Quick crash course of the week.
Yeah. Okay. You want a quick crash course on Wiki? Okay.
Because I haven't done awards. I'm not bringing it across and do everything again.
So okay. Quick crash course on Wiki.
Just do you actually have it set up like a Wikipedia page where you have to have your 1.0 introduction breaking down into, or can it just be a one-page spread?
Say again, sorry?
It's not like on the start of the Wiki page.
Yeah.
You have like the kind of the titles of each section.
Yeah.
Breaking down. Is that where you want it?
Yeah, I would be happy to see that. If you cannot do it, I don't mind. I'm not going to dock points because of that. It makes life easy for me to read. Right? So I'm not that rude to dock points just because of that. These guys will be dock points. They are leaving the class without telling me. For sure, that's it. I know Alex, I know the other guy. Gone. Say again? Sorry guys, the internet is not working here. So
Actually, I have one question. I was
Yeah.
just reading through the